This episode is dedicated to the memory of Afa on Hawaii. Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review, our only review this week, but stay tuned later in the week because we got a little surprise for you. But this week, originally we were going to do New Japan, but New Japan is not aired yet, the finals. So that'll come to you next week. So tune in for that next week for our G1 coverage. This week, we are doing something different. We're doing our second ever DDT show, but our first ever GCW show.
Did we never do a GCW show?
We've never done a GCW show.
Side note, it's funny because we talk a lot about MLW,
Mhm.
but we've definitely watched more GCW shows than we have MLW shows,
Yes, we have.
even though we haven't reviewed them.
Actually, no, I think I've watched MLW more than GCW.
Yeah, you think so?
I think, at least me personally.
I would say this is probably like maybe my 8th or 9th GCW show. We've watched
Yeah.
a lot of more DDT than we thought too, because
Yes.
like I'm always just dabbling in it, but we never review it.
Yeah. But because if that's the case, then it'd just be too much to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Because this year we haven't done a single NWA show.
I'm not probably going to.
Yeah, or a
Not probably going
CMLL
to.
or a AAA.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm never doing AAA again. I'm going to be honest, unless
Yeah.
we hear that the Triple Mania is like an insane main event. Maybe.
Yeah. But
I mean, Dolph
we had
Ziggler
it. We
did
had
that.
an insane main event with Nick Nemeth and Alberto El Patron.
Yeah, that was actually good. But that was one
But
out of 3 nights.
let us go to the review. GCW doing a crossover show with DDT in Japan. I always loved Korakuen Hall. That's one of my favorite venues. It's such a great atmosphere. It's smaller, it's intimate, and the crowd just gets so into it. They're sticking with the crazy titles, Never Ending Noisy Summer.
Yeah, it's nothing better than a good DDT Peter Pan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way, Peter Pan was really good. I don't know if you watched Peter Pan.
No, I have not watched Peter Pan.
It's that's where Mao
Wins
the
the belt.
title from I forget what his name is. The guy who we watched win it at that pay-per-view.
Okay.
Fuck, I can't remember his name.
That's
Sorry.
okay. But we'll start off. First is a multi-person tag match. Chris Brooks, Takeshi Masada, Maki Ito, and Marcus Mathers against Illusion, Masha Slamovich, Yuki Ueno, and Uni.
This I this was really fun.
Yeah.
Like it made me laugh the whole time. Maki Ito is like a special gem that the world doesn't deserve.
Yep.
But I
Or
don't know
she
why
deserves more.
I don't know why Masha Slamovich was here.
Yeah, that was
She
weird,
didn't really do anything. Like she didn't even really wrestle for the most of this
No.
match.
At first, I thought it was just to have a woman against a woman, but later on in the show, it's like, what the hell? Like,
DDT and GCW as well are 2 of the rare places where it doesn't matter what your sex is, you're gonna wrestle.
Yeah, as we'll see later on in the show. But this was fun. It was a cute little open. I'd call it cute.
Yeah, it was
Because,
the
Maki
crying
Ito is the
stuff was pretty
cutest.
funny. Like when the referee starts crying and then they're like, "What's
Yes.
happening?"
Yeah. But I mean, for an opener, it was fine. It got me hyped up for the show. And this match set the tone for most of the card.
I would absolutely agree with you. I think if you didn't get on board with what this was, you won't be able to do it because there's only 2 serious matches and they're the last 2 matches of the night.
If we'll talk about it at the end when we do our score because that'll come into it. But next we have a tag team match: Ali Catch and Dark Sheik against Antonio Honda and Kazuki Hirata.
Hey, you ready?
So this is a men versus women match.
You ready for this?
Let's go for it.
This is my match of the night.
Yes, I loved it so much.
I never had so much fun watching a wrestling match ever in my entire life. The constant dick punching, the splits, the dick punch,
Yes.
the glasses, the microphone thing. I want to be ping pong.
I want to be.
It's penis pong. Like, what the fuck was that? And there was a couple of spots here that surprised me. Like they did actually like some crazy ass moves.
Ali Catch, people, if you're not familiar with Ali Catch is probably one of the best female indie talents out there right now.
Yeah. You know what? This was just fun, man.
Fun. It was this is comedy wrestling done right.
Yeah,
we've seen Antonio Honda before.
Yeah. I think not Japanese people, Japanese comedy wrestling is the kind of comedy wrestling I prefer because it's
Yeah.
so dumb that it's like, you're not taking this seriously. Like
Because there's
WWE
another
tries
match
to add
later on in
comedy
the
to like,
show. I was like,
yeah,
literally, what the
dude, it's like, and I get it. I was all in here.
Yeah.
DDT is like pure comedy,
Yeah.
and like GCW people just went with it.
Yeah.
There
Because
was
we
no like, oh, we're serious and we're here to do serious things. No, they were like, no, we're just gonna go
yeah.
with the vibe.
Remember, GCW also has Louis Primo, the pizza.
Hey, he's one of my faves. Okay.
Okay. But Ali Catch ends up winning with Dark Sheik. Like, this is a weird finish. Like, they
I love the
started
way they ended too. They both just like rolled out of the ring on opposite ends and just walked
and
away.
walked away.
They're like, okay, bye.
But this was fun, and it was a decent second match. So with that, we are getting our next match. We are getting Damnation TA, which is Sasaki and Cannon against Broski Jimmy and Rina Yamashita. If there's anyone that can go with the men, it's Rina Yamashita.
Yeah, this match was almost serious.
Yeah.
Like it had some really good hardcore elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
I expected more, not I don't want to say deathmatch stuff. We do get like a pretty plundery match. Like this does
Yeah.
have that too as well. But like I expected more of the card to be like that. Like more
Yeah.
Nick Gagey.
Yep.
Um, but you know what? It was pretty overall a solid match, like
Yeah.
entertainment value wise.
Absolutely. I'd agree with that. And like I said, Rina Yamashita is probably one of the few that can go with this type of style of
Yeah,
match.
yeah. And she
Like
did.
she's like doing suplexes, she's like taking chair bumps, like she was taking some hard bumps with
She's
this.
heavy duty.
Yeah. But in the end, Damnation TA are your winners. So with that, we'll follow into our fourth match of the night, and we're moving through this thing because it was a shorter show too. It was only 2.5 hours and only 7 matches on the card.
Well, we specifically watched it for the fact that it just seemed like an interesting thing, like
Yeah.
GCW and DDT. Like, when do we get to
Yeah,
watch
this
pro?
will
Like, we're all in on multiverse shit right now in
yeah.
wrestling. So,
Yeah. So why not? Why not? Let's roll with it. So we got Burning, which is Tetsuya Endo and Yuki Ino against the one called Manders and Gringo Loco.
buddy,
Gringo Loco, holy shit.
what the fuck was that?
He
Did you
could be
know
our
he does that?
he could be our Ninja Mac of DDT,
He
or
already is. Is he DDT or GCW?
he's GCW.
Dude, he's good. Like
Yeah,
not like he's a solid wrestler. He's actually fucking
good.
fantastic.
And for a large man, he can move.
Buddy, he is his little flippy doo-doos and
Yeah,
like
flippy doo-doos, yeah.
they did some really inventive back and forth here,
Yeah,
and he
like he's
didn't
doing like backflips and like
they had good comedy.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know, it was a solid match overall. Like this is in ring maybe visually the best match,
Yeah.
but you're not getting Dark
You're not
Sheik and
yeah.
Driving Miss
Just
Daisy was the best.
driving Miss Daisy. Um, but again, another fun match. It was like, and at this point, I'm
Open
all
door. I am teacher. You want to play ping pong? You want to play table tennis?
at this point, I'm all in with the comedy matches, and I'm ready for it. I've already known what the tone now is for this show. Burning and does end up winning. Endo and Eno get the win. This was our, I guess, meat match of the night too. You got some pretty beefy
Yeah.
boys in it.
Yeah.
But nothing could prepare me what I was about to see next.
The hottest match in wrestling history. Have you ever seen a brawn panties match? Well, that's nothing.
This is nothing. We actually got full ass in this match.
Full ass.
Full ass. Then Shoki Dino against Effie.
Well, we've seen Shoki Dino before.
Yes. He comes out
And
with the blow up doll. Was it him that was
he does a lot of really gay
perverted?
stuff.
Yeah.
Really
Gay. Yeah.
and it's
And not in
funny
a
as
bad way.
hell.
Yeah. Like, who
Well,
wants a kiss from Dino?
yeah,
Everybody
that
gets
was
a kiss.
buddy. That match, that was at the Takeshita show, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was so
Where
funny.
the blow up doll ended up winning the
Yeah,
match.
but like, holy crap, man! So he's so funny. But listen, I
But
know
he
who
can wrestle too. That's the thing.
I know who Effie is,
Hmm.
and I did not know that he goes.
Yeah, he can go. He goes pretty hard.
Buddy, his like submission work was some of the most inventive stuff I've ever seen. That rope stuff with like the flips and like the grabbing on and shit. I was like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
and doing it all in
The
fishnets.
leg around the neck when he hung back over the rope, like
Yes,
that was
he kind of like
crazy.
like the almost like a tarantula type of thing.
Yeah. Buddy, actually like in ring work was
It
good.
was actually pretty good. Yeah,
And the comedy was funny.
it was solid.
The
I like
part
when what's his name? This is wrong. This is not wrestling.
when Dino pulls his pants down and he's about to sit on his face, and Effie like wakes up and he's so happy that
Yes.
he's gonna sit on his face. That was
Oh my
so
god.
funny.
And then he's like getting was it all the extra referees are coming in, and then what's her name? I think
The girl referee
Scarlett. I
comes in and
forgot her
she
name.
wants a
Scarlett
kiss, and they're
something.
like, "No,
Yeah,
we're not
like
doing
no, we don't want to
it."
kiss you. And she's like,
Uh,
why?
no, the best part is when the other, I can't remember who it was. The other guy comes in and pulls his pants down, and they make like an ass sandwich on the rope, and it's just like a mouth chewing, and they're trying
But
to
this
put
is,
the
and
guy's
that's
head
where we got
inside
our
it.
full ass. I thought we were just gonna get two thong. No, we got full ass in
Yeah,
this.
that was funny, man. That was fucking funny. And then
They're like just bouncing up and down, ass to ass.
they
Like
end up teaming up against the referees instead of being fighting each other.
my only thing is, thank God my wife didn't walk in the room while I was watching
She'll be like, "What the fuck is happening?
this. Is there something you need to tell me?
Is this Pornhub?" Uh,
Thank God I'm not monetized.
do you know what though? That was a actually really funny match.
But it was fun. Like, say what you will about like the quote unquote gay wrestling and this and that. Like, he goes, no, I want a real wrestling match. And then like Effie gets on all fours and
It's like, and that's Effie keeps or Dino keeps doing the things and then snapping out of him and be like, "No, I want to wrestle."
yeah, yeah. Or right at the beginning of the match, they're just kind of like rubbing with each other.
Yo, he was he the champion? The
Dino?
Iron Heavy Metalweight champion?
Yeah, I think Dino for a little bit.
Man, it's
This was
a pretty solid match. Like,
this is the best. This was probably the best way to end the comedy segment of the night,
yeah, and
because
I
the
think
next two matches are like serious matches and really good matches.
for a Japanese culture, like I don't live in Japan, but I know they're not like they think gay is funny,
Right.
and it's not. I don't know how really accepting they are of the gay community, like generally outside of wrestling, but they do think in wrestling that gay is very funny.
Right.
And I think the way that the wrestlers handle it is so palatable, and it actually works as like a comedy juxtaposition rather than being offensive. Where
Yeah.
when they try to do this kind of stuff in America, it's
Oh,
a
they
little
get canceled
offensive
immediately.
and it's a little bit like hard to watch, kind of like it's too much. It's
It
like
can be a little uncomfortable. Yeah.
yeah, but it's like they just handle it so well in this, especially in DDT. Like DDT just has something
It was like honestly, this match was watching like this, like some sort of silly anime.
legit, and but Effie's really good.
Yeah, he is a really good wrestler. So good on him. Good on him. This ends in a no contest because the ref is just like, the hell with this, and he just walks out of the ring. He goes, I give up.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, all the referees got kissed, so
Yeah.
except the girl.
Except the girl. But with that, we'll go into our co-main event of the night. This is for the GCW World Title. This is a three-way match. I guess it was, they didn't mention it on any listings, but hardcore rules.
Mhm.
It was Mance Warner, who we're familiar with.
Stephanie Delander's husband or boyfriend, whatever. I don't know.
Yes. Facing off against Joey Janela, another one we're familiar with.
Yep.
And Shunma Katsumata
We've seen him before,
on the DDT show, the one with
yeah,
Jericho.
but only that one time.
Yeah. We've seen Joey Janela multiple times.
Yeah, everyone knows Joey Janela.
Yeah. And Mance Warner, we've seen a few times. I think a couple
Yeah.
years ago when we were doing a couple NWA shows, he did a few
He did a few NWA shows. I think he was on the MLW show we did.
Yeah.
We didn't review it. We watched
No,
it.
we watched it. Yeah.
And he did He appeared quite a few times on AEW
AEW
because he
Dark, I think.
wrestled
Yeah.
Jericho for the Ring of Honor belt. He wrestled, I think, an eliminator match against John Moxley for the world title at one point.
But so we know what type of character, not character, but like what type of wrestler Mance Warner is. But nothing could prepare me for this match. Like this went hard. Like
It was
it
good
wasn't.
though.
It was really good, and
And there was a lot of
Katsu,
comedy to it, but it was flat
but
comedy.
Katsumata bled hard in this match.
And he took a lot of fucking
He took a
punishment.
lot of the punishment in this.
Him and Janela took most of it. I feel like Matt Warner, like he still does these type of matches, but I
Yeah,
feel like he's like the name in this match, so he booked it. They booked it to like where he wasn't taking everything, you know.
yeah, I agree. But this was still a fantastic match. Like it was like what was I gonna say? Like the Lego, like there was what he had who was the one with the was it Katsumata that had the baseball bat with the Legos on it?
Yeah.
And then they broke it and then like Lego all over the ring. It's like not just a couple. Like, I mean, this ring was
Oh, it was an
covered.
entire bucket of Lego that Joey Janela dumped over
Yeah,
his head.
yeah. Like, and I think Legos are worse than thumbtacks.
I think the initial pain is, but I think the fact that they don't stick in you is
Uh,
why the
that's
wrestlers
true.
don't mind using them because it hurts up front, but it doesn't hurt as much later.
That's true. That's true. But unlike what's his name, Nick Jackson, when he had the not just in his shoe, in his foot, remember? That hurts. That hurts. But I mean, other than that, it was a great match. Warner retains on like a weird win, like a weird pin, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the whole last couple minutes of the match was really like weird how it like
It
came
was
together.
quick. They were, yeah, it's like they were trying to wrap it up. And we'll talk about this in the main event because I think the show ended early because of what happened.
I think so too.
I think because this was the longest match of the night, and I think the next match was supposed to be the
I
longest.
found the main event was super short.
Yeah, due to whatever happens. But Mance Warner does retain. I knew we weren't going to get a title change here. Um, so the main event is the DDT Universal Championship. Mao is defending against Alex Zane.
And wow, like could we ask for like a better
But
combination of
Alex
people?
Zane, like so I guess he's not New Japan. He's freelance.
I think he is actually signed to GCW, but he's just allowed to go do whatever he wants.
Okay, so he can freelance
Yeah.
whenever he wants. Okay. Because like we've seen Mao now, this is like we've seen Mao a handful of times, like six, like we saw him on that multiverse show, we saw him on that
We're big
super.
fans of Mao,
Yeah,
actually.
we love Mao, and
I'm
the
glad he
fact,
finally won the belt.
yeah, after all that time. And this match started off so well and so good. The outside spots were great. Like this was like a real quote unquote the non-comedy match of the show.
And there still was comedy in it,
Yeah,
especially at the beginning.
right. But it was more of a subtle comedy as opposed to like, holy
Yeah.
shit, what are they
Well,
doing?
the last match had the comedy too, right? But it was
Yeah.
flat. It was really
It's
flat. Like they
yeah.
just wanted to move on from the jokes. They didn't dwell on it. Like the other
Mhm.
matches, they really dragged out a
They
lot of
milked
the
out the
jokes.
jokes,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially in that Dino Effie match. But
Penis pong.
yeah. So they start brawling on the outside. Alex Zane at one point does the moonsault off that grandstand or whatever that's one of my favorite parts at Carrican Hall where that stand is where the people sit. He does a moonsault and lands funny. And apparently he may have torn a tendon or his Achilles tendon he may have torn.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. And so the referee ends up stopping the match. Like he couldn't continue. He tried. Like, give him all that credit, man. He tried, but he couldn't do it. And the referee called the match. Even Mao puts up the X, like, guy, he's hurt. Like, check on him, right? Like, so unfortunately, we don't know the extent of Alex Zane's injury at the moment. So Mao ends up winning the match by referee stoppage.
Yeah, and I saw pictures get posted
Mm-hmm.
about them and Mao doing the X and thought it was like him
A
doing a
work.
celebration at the end of the match. Cause I'm like, no one would just throw up an X if you're not
No,
the referee, right?
I
doesn't just
think
happen.
because the
But
referee kind of wasn't.
and after I saw it, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
no, that legit he was doing that.
And when I went to go back to watch that spot, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's where he got hurt. And you could see the way he lands. He lands flat, and like, I don't know if it's a break, but I think it may be a tear.
Yeah, he got hurt. He definitely got
Yeah.
hurt.
Because even at one point he's like holding his leg and like dragging himself out of the ring.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, right?
Injuries happen. Injuries are gonna happen.
It's unfortunate because this was a really good
It
match.
was starting off to be fantastic. Like it could have been so much more. And it's like I was looking forward to this, to like, you know, a crossover show. Like we're getting a lot of crossover shows, and like this is different. This was different. I had so much fun with this show. Um, I wasn't expecting to have this much fun.
No, neither was I.
Like
I
it
mean,
was,
I think it's gonna be a hard show to score
it is, yeah.
for what it
This
is. Like,
okay, so my score won't reflect the amount of fun I had with this show
yeah, okay.
because the in-ring work was good and the comedy worked, but it's still a comedic show and I had a lot of fun. But for me, like if I'm going to score it, I gave this a 7-2.
7-2.
Yeah.
I would give it. I would give it a 6-8, with the caveat that it's absolutely worth watching.
Yeah.
It's the enjoyment factor is there, but you're not going to be blown away by this
In-ring
two and a
work
half
or
hours, but you won't be upset that you did it, right? And I think a 7-2 is a very fair score, to be honest with you.
yeah.
I was around that until we just talked about it, and I really thought like when I'm looking at my other scores, like I don't know if I could give it over a 7, but it was highly enjoyable. I recommend watching it. Just as a combined event, I don't. I'm a 6-8.
Okay. That's fair enough. That's very fair. But yeah, like just because like I enjoyed the in-ring work, I enjoyed the
Yeah,
comedy, and
I
that's
don't
why I
think your
kind of
score is bad.
like every match was a good match. And to be fair, if that Zayn match and Mao were to finish properly, I may have even gone a little higher, like 7-4.
I think I could have landed in the sevens for that.
Yeah. So you gave it a 6-8 then.
Yeah,
All right.
a 6 is a good score,
Hey, no, it's not a
and
bad
I'm
score at
saying
all,
definitely watch it.
but it's worth a watch.
Yeah, it won't be for everybody though. That's another thing. Like it
Yeah.
just some people are just you're not going to want to watch this.
If you're not into like homosexual humor or anything like that, like,
I think if when people hear GCW and like know about DDT to an extent, you're expecting it to be like really hardcore, and
yeah,
it's not like that.
not at all. We haven't watched, and we're not going to review the other GCW shows in Japan because,
No, but they do have actually a really cool lineup coming up of shows that they're doing.
yeah,
So
and they got the return of Kota Ibushi,
yeah, yeah.
which they announced on this show.
I would definitely check out some of the DDT coming up and some of the GCW coming
Yeah.
up.
If you're looking for something different out of the norm, we do a lot of mainstream serious wrestling, New Japan, WWE, and AEW and stuff like that. Like we do a lot of the serious stuff, but this was a good break from what we
Yeah.
normally watch. So I had
It's what you would expect, I think, at this point. Not all viewers are going to understand this, but like if you know what you're getting from a super indie, that's what this is. Like
yeah,
MLW, GCW, they're super indies. DDT is like a super indie, I think, in
yeah,
my opinion. And that's like what you're getting.
yeah, absolutely. So keep this review short. With that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Like I said, next week we will have our New Japan full coverage of the G1. We'll talk about some of our favorite matches, some of our favorite moments of the match, and we'll see who wins because as of this recording, we still don't know who wins because it hasn't happened yet. So could this be Zach's year?
Ah,
Could this be Zach's year?
it's very possible.
Very possible. But not going to spoil anything, so you're going to have to tune in next week to find out all the spoilers and everything that happens. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.